And it's 10 a.m. right here in Lagos, Nigeria. Good morning, good evening. Wherever in the world you're watching from, it's Business Morning live on Channels Television. I'm Ladi Williams. Great to have you join us. Let's kick off now with some news. It's a new dawn for Davodani Microfinance Bank Limited as the company unveils its new logo. The starting operations as a unit microfinance in 2014, then growing to a state institution 2 years later. Davodani, now DDMFB, is proud to have successfully recapitalized according to the requirements of the Central Bank of Nigeria and looks forward to widening its growth and customer base. Take a listen.
Numerous MSME, medium, small, micro, small, medium customers, their bank, the other bank, we have tried with all our strength, supported by God, to bring them into the financial landscape in this country. They are currently enjoying our unhindered access to sustainable financial services that guarantee prosperity and financial freedom. That is indeed our motto. We are no more in bondage. For everyone who thinks he cannot access funds, contact Davodani. There we are.
Welcome back now to our first conversation. Well, globally, households and businesses are going through a tough time with rising energy costs, sky-high inflation, and a tightening cycle by most central bankers. But business must go on regardless. Let's talk to Tolani Thomas now, principal consultant at Halisi Consult. She'll be telling us how to run a business in a tough economy. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so many macro headwinds right now, and I'm sure there are people out there, on the sideline, thinking about how, they can start some kind of business right now. But looking at, the macro headwinds, they'll be like, this is not for me. Mm-hmm. How do I survive? Where do I start from in this kind of economy? What do you think? I
believe that opportunities still exist in this market, especially Nigeria being like part of the countries that's the last frontier for development. So there's still a lot of opportunities that are bound for business owners and entrepreneurs to take advantage of. I think what needs to be done is business owners need to dig deep, do the research, and put in the hard work of building a business in this economy. And obviously, they have to factor in things like inflation, rising interest rate costs, foreign exchange as well. So they need to, once they factor in all those things, I believe that you can start a new business with your research done, a good strategy, and a good business model in this market.
And what about for, existing businesses? But because they are also, facing the headwinds at this point. They're already out there. They don't want to pack up.
Yes.
At this time.
Yes, understood. For existing businesses, we're going to be seeing a lot of trends around entrepreneurs having second jobs aside their businesses just to be able to manage the push, quote unquote, that is coming in 2023. So I think for existing businesses, they need to do their research and they need to understand the places where they have holes in their business and plug in those holes, fix the problems internally, and then start looking out. Also, there are global opportunities that exist for businesses right now. In Nigeria, we're uniquely positioned where we are, especially for those in Lagos. They can easily export their businesses outside of Nigeria and tap into a global market. Right now, we have a massive resource which is available to everybody called the internet. If you can take advantage of the opportunities on the internet, your business can see tremendous growth regardless of what is happening in this economy.
Quite interesting. And I get those screaming headlines. We see startups here raising $3 million, this one raising, record amounts, at this time. But yes, there's also a tightening cycle. And I'm sure investors, out there might be holding back, to some of these funds. How do startups, some that are venturing into this startup business, how do they attract funds in a tough time?
Based on research and based on past experience, a lot of businesses were founded during recessions. Airbnb, for example, they found a problem that people needed to be solved, and they solved it by providing a platform, which is the solution that they provided for that problem. So I believe that startups, there's still opportunities that exist that they can tap into in this economy. There are lots and lots of businesses that operate in the US, in the West, in the UK, Europe, etc., and even Asia, that can be replicated here in Nigeria if we adapt it to our own unique business environment. So I believe that opportunities still exist for startups to thrive in this environment, especially because they're seeking, they're getting investment in USD. So if you get investment in USD, it means that automatically you need to factor in that your prices, your cost to customers must be in USD as well. I believe that the businesses that will really do well are businesses that are selling to a global market. So if you're operating a business in Nigeria and you're selling to businesses, or sorry, you're selling to customers across the world, you're going to be making your money back in USD, which is, where the problems start from for most business owners, the problem of the foreign exchange. So if you're selling globally, I believe that, there's definitely an opportunity there for you, and you can still thrive in this economy.
What about those merchants? I see all of those merchants on Instagram, selling different products, and I know they get most of these products from outside our shores.
Yes.
This Forex issue would definitely create some kind of pivot for them, I'm guessing.
Yes, I agree with you completely. A lot of people, a lot of business owners are in that predicament currently. I think what should be done is you need to dig deep, as I said earlier, and you need to understand that when you're importing raw materials from a certain country, say China, you need to have a way where you're converting that raw material into finished goods that will give you a higher price markup, so you can make your profit margin on that product, right? So if that's the first thing that you need to do, you need to convert the raw materials into finished goods, which will give you a higher profit margin, and then look to sell to a global audience. Right now, there's a current wave of Nigerians moving outside of the country. So that is a big market for you, the diasporan market. The diasporan remittance alone is matching oil revenues in Nigeria every year. So that is a big market that a lot of business owners are ignoring. Nigerians are literally in every country in the world. Why are you not trying to reach those Nigerians in those other countries to sell your products to them? There's logistics, the supply chain facilities available for you to reach those people wherever they are. So target those markets, target those customers in those different countries, and sell to them in a way where you can gain foreign currency for your business.
And an enabling environment is also, critical,
Yes.
at this point. What would you like to see, from the government? It's a pre-election year. The new government's going to come in, come 2023.
Yes.
What would you like to see, from what kind of policies would you like to see?
I would like to see the policies that they've said they've implemented actually implemented, first of all. So there's a lot of talk about ease of doing business, but as a business owner in Nigeria, it is not so. That's the honest truth. It's not that easy to do business in Nigeria. If you're in a business where you are buying and selling, like shipping abroad, if the government can come in to put in place policies that can make supply chain easier, and not just even selling abroad, if you're selling within Nigeria, for you to move your goods from state to state, if they can put in policies in place that can make these supply chain bottlenecks sort of easier for business owners to be able to reach, a wider audience, be able to reach more customers in good time. And also, if the government can help with entrepreneurs getting credit, verified entrepreneurs getting credit that actually want to do the work of building a business in Nigeria. The biggest problems that business owners have today in Nigeria is that they don't have access to credit. It's such a big problem.
Credit.
And you cannot scale your business without credit. So what is the government doing to get us single digits credit facilities, not double digits? I'm aware that, the CBN recently, changed their rates, and it's affected the lenders that are lending to Nigerian businesses currently. So Nigerian businesses are the ones feeling the brunt of these policy changes within the, the
Which
government.
also translates into higher prices.
Exactly.
All right, I guess someone out there would be encouraged to start that business.
Yes.
It is possible. There are opportunities.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Tolini Thomas, Principal Consultant, Halisi Condos. Great having your perspective on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now, so we're taking the conversation further now. It's that time of the year again for the Global Wealth Festival. The event is themed on how you can grow your finances and your business despite recession or living in a third world economy. Let's talk to the convener now, Dr. Stephen Akintayo. Join us via Zoom. Great to have you on the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you doing today?
Yeah, you're practically a friend of the house at this point. But what inspired the Global Wealth Festival, originally, and why do you think it's important, for Nigerians of today?
Well, we realized that, thank you for having me, by the way. We realized that the concept of wealth has been distorted amongst Africans. You know, years ago, religion, foreign religion came into Africa, and we lost our initial heritage where we celebrate the concept of being wealthy. So you see, the Westerners came and gave us religion, took our wealth, told us we should focus on going to heaven, and we don't need to bother about being wealthy here on earth. And years later, Africa is a impoverished poverty capital of the world, and people are no longer thinking of how do we create wealth? What's the concept of real wealth creation in a legitimate way? So we felt both those at home and those in diaspora are struggling. $10 an hour, $15 an hour, 15 hours a day job for many in diaspora, literally throwing away their dreams and struggling. I said we need to bring back that conversation. That's why we started with US, Dallas, Texas, and we did London episode, and now we're bringing it to Nigeria.
Quite interesting. And, you've had, all those episodes in, different countries coming down to Nigeria. Great. But can you tell us the impact of the ones you've had, in other countries?
Huge. It was amazing. Dallas, we had Grant Cardone. He's a top real estate guru, over $8 billion in real estate assets, and several other speakers who are African Americans and Nigerians as well, who are in diaspora, who share their story, how they built. We had the first female to own a bank in the US. She shared her experience. And what we saw with participants was they were so excited. There was that joy that I can make it even here. Because what happened with a lot of people who migrate to diaspora, US, UK, or other parts of the world, we throw away our dreams. We literally tell ourselves we can't make it in those parts of the world. And that is probably just for the whites or for a certain set of people. And with that conference and you seeing people who have made it in that economy, it gave a lot of the participants hope. We got fantastic testimony. London edition, one of the speakers was Alexandra Musu, has 2 Guinness Book of Record, Nigerian, but grew up in the UK, was the first to be known for the ringtone, having Afro beats on ringtone, did the first most expensive phone, most expensive suits. And so how did you do it? How did you succeed in the UK economy despite being Black? And that conversation was just amazing. And we were excited. We are pushing this move.
And I do remember those ringtones you talked about back there. But in the lead up to elections in Nigeria, there's a lot of uncertainty in the business and finance community. What's your view on the situation, and how can the younger generation create certainty around their finances?
Well, the truth is that you and I have to become personally responsible for our finances. Politicians will promise us, heaven and earth. We all know that election period, there's nothing they will say to get our votes, but we have to face the reality. You and I are responsible for the outcome of our lives. And there is so much opportunity in Nigeria. And what we've decided to do is to say, we will bring to you people who have made it in Nigeria. We're going to be having Dr. Cosmos Maduka. Cosmos Maduka started Coscharis with 200 Naira in the same Nigeria. Okay? And his assets is over $1 billion today. How did he do it? So what we've done is to say we will assemble people who are not just thriving, but exceptionally successful despite the challenges in Nigeria, and we'll have them talk to us and share their own journey of how they've been able to do it so that you and I can take responsibility. Ultimately, I've said this a million times, the wealth of a nation is directly proportional to the wealth of the citizens. And don't let any politician deceive you. America is the world power, richest country in the world, because top 100 richest people in the world, America probably will take 50% of that. Americans are 50% of the top 100 richest people in the world. So hence the nation of course, is the richest nation in the world. So if we're going to turn Nigeria around from the Africa poverty capital of the world and all of that, we have to start empowering our people, showing them how those who made it legitimately have done it and how they can do it themselves.
I guess we have to make our people rich, at this point, so that they can pay more taxes and the government can actually, get more at this time. But what unique factor would you say Nigerian leadership is lacking and is something business leaders can easily answer to?
Well, I think the relationship between, the business leaders and those in politics is too wide. I feel we need to bring it closer. And I'm talking about, I'm not saying that entrepreneurs necessarily need to go into politics, but that when you as a politician become empowered and now you've been elected, you need to close the gap with those who are practically on ground doing business and say, how do we solve your sector? What do we do? I'm not necessarily giving you a title or a position, but can I add you to a conversation on how we can solve the problem in power sector, in the real estate sector, in the oil and gas sector, and not just play politics with the recommendation, but genuinely seek to work together. And we've seen that work in other parts of the world where business leaders are helping policymakers execute transformational concepts and policies to change that particular nation. So I feel that's important. We need to close that gap. I hope in the next government, 2023, that will happen.
Quite interesting. But your company, GTEX Holdings, you're present in countries like the UK, US, Dubai, and the rest. But in terms of growing finances, what is the main key that is obtainable in those economies that you think we can, reenact here in Nigeria?
Beautiful. I think number one is the fact that ease to doing business. Dubai and US and UK, you don't need to know anybody to get anything done. You need a document, you need support from government. It's not a function of the president is my brother or the senator is my cousin. You can just get what you need the proper way. Also is the, access to funds. I've always shared how, opening corporate bank accounts in different countries, they were asking us how much loan do we need? What financing do we need? You can't get that in Nigeria. And even when you get a loan, the interest rate is just ridiculous. So entrepreneurs definitely need policies that makes it a lot easier for them to be able to do business better in Africa, particularly in Nigeria, like it is in those parts of the world. It's easier for nations like America to demand that the wealthy pay more in taxes because genuinely the government support those businesses. Elon Musk was bailed out how many times now? By the American government, right? So if he's now the richest man in the world, America has the right to say, hey, we need you to pay more. Because we know how many times we helped you, right? We know how many tax incentives, tax break we've given to your business because you are into the renewable energy sector. So this government needs to get involved in helping, knowing that the success of businesses is the success of the administration. It means there will be more jobs. It means you can have more in taxes. It means that the people the development can take place because government can't do everything. So yes, we've seen we've operated businesses in different sectors or different countries that are way better in terms of the infrastructure, but we also believe that can happen in Nigeria. We just need our leaders to be willing, genuinely willing to change things. And I hope they will. I hope we all just can hope, my brother.
Right, we're hopeful, we are. But for many who want to attend, the event, is it a free event? You have a number of, internationally acclaimed speakers coming. So I want to know, is it free?
Well, nothing of value is free.
Right.
But what we've done is to subsidize the event where people can even, right now as we're watching this, get a 50% discount, further discount on the event if they are getting their tickets today. So you can just visit globalwealthfestival.com and then use the coupon code GWF Lagos. With that code, they will get extra 50% discount if they are getting their tickets today for the event. We have, Les Brown, we have Robert Kiyosaki, Brian Tracy, amongst others coming. They have done a recorded session because they're not coming physically. Done a recorded session that will be played during the event. And we have, of course, other speakers who are coming physically. And we really look forward to having a very great time. I'm just excited about it.
I'm sure it'll be very interesting, and I'm sure you have my ticket waiting, for me somewhere.
You have to be. You have to be.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Stephen Akinta, convener, Global Wealth Festival. It's great having you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it. Yes.
All right, now after the break, AFEX Commodities market update is next. Do stay with us. This is Business Morning. Welcome back now for the AFEX Commodities update for the weekend at 31st of October 2022. The AFEX Commodity Market Summary is mostly in the green with a number of deals down. That was the only one in the red. Now for more, let's have Omotola Akongbe, Strategy and Corporate Finance Analyst at AFEX. Join us from our Abuja studio. Great to have you on the program.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
Good morning.
And like you said, it was we generally saw an increase across our key indicators. For our total turnover, there was an increase of 63.93% in our total turnover, moving from 0.61 billion naira to close at 1 billion naira. We also saw an increase of 46.07% in our total volume of contracts traded, moving from about 2.2 million contracts to close at about 3.2 million contracts. We, however, saw a decline of 14.91% in the number of deals traded, declining from 371 deals declining from 436 deals to close at 371 deals. Our AFEX commodity index closed flat. Our AFEX export index increased by 1.09%, moving from 200.3 points to close at 202.48 points. Across our volume traded, we saw an increase in the volume traded of paddy rice and cashew nuts. Across price, there was an increase of 2.38% in the price of maize to close at 215 naira, gaining 5 naira during the trading week. Also, paddy rice increased marginally by 0.30% to close at 285.85 naira. Soybean also increased by 2.38% to close at 380 naira. The prices of other commodities remained flat during the week. For more information about AFEX, kindly visit our website at africaexchange.com, and to join our trading platform, you can download our app, COMEX, on Play Store or the iOS Store. You can stay tuned for more information in the coming week. Thank you.
All right, great, interesting volume we saw there coming for paddy rice. Thank you so much, Omotola Akongbe, Strategy and Corporate Finance Analyst at AFEX. It was great having the rundown
it's a
for
pleasure.
the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now see the commodities market is about to move into its harvest season, which is characterized by an influx of large volumes of commodities into the market, and the dynamics of demand and supply, and obviously prices are going to get quite volatile. Let's talk to Zara Dogo, Institutional Sales Financial Markets at AFEX, joining us. Great to have you on the program.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure.
Great to have you. So when does the new harvest season start, and how does it influence the already existing commodity market?
So harvest season started in October, which means that right now we're going into post-harvest season. And just to provide some context, planting season started between May and June, and that has run all the way to September. And then after that, you go into harvest season, which plays out for about 3 to 4 weeks. Here you see threshing, drying, and processes that allow us to have these commodities in the market. And then post-harvest season, we have this large influx of the commodities in the market.
And obviously, we're going to see large volumes of commodities in the market almost at the same time. With the influx, how does it affect, the demand and supply dynamics?
So just like the law of demand and supply, we know that when supply is higher than demand, the price of products will go down. So that's very similar to what we would see happening in the commodities market. As I mentioned from the first question you asked, we're expecting a large influx of these commodities to hit markets very soon. So we expect the prices of these commodities to start to go down. And I'm just looking at soybean, for example. We saw high production volumes all through last season. So we're expecting that large volumes would hit the markets, which would drive prices down. But reverse is the case for paddy rice. With the floods that have affected different states in the country, like Anambra, Niger, and other states, the volumes that were anticipated on the exchange are not what we are seeing right now. And from the volumes and from the numbers that we are seeing on the system, the price of paddy has started to go up. So on AFEX Commodities Exchange, what we anticipate is that the price of paddy will continue to rise up until the end of 2022. And with the fact that we have Christmas coming up, we know that the most consumed commodity is rice, so we expect pent-up demand to continue to go up, which would also affect the price of this commodity.
And obviously, food inflation issues is on the front burner now globally. But what do we expect in regard to harvest season, as it approaches?
So harvest season approached, as I mentioned, in October, and we are in post-harvest season. So food inflation would actually be somewhat beneficial in the market because it's going to affect the prices of these commodities, which means that now is a good time to come on the exchange and get ready to start to buy the commodities that we have available on AFEX Commodities. Because as the prices are going up, if you've been able to invest now or within the following weeks, you know that once you're getting ready to exit the market, you will definitely be in the green.
Right, and I'm guessing you're saying it's a good time for investors to, get into that market right now.
Yes, it's not just a good time, actually. It's the best time to come into the market. With global commodities markets, we know that the best time to start investing in commodities markets is at the beginning of the commodities season. So, yes, now is the best time to come into the market. And what we provide at AFEX Commodities Exchange is an easy, seamless, and efficient digital trading platform that allows you come on the system, buy our commodities. You're able to buy and sell and exit your position whenever you wish. And it's very easy to do from the comfort of your home or your phone. You're able to download our app on the Play Store, on the Apple Store, as well as on our website through the website link, which is comex.afex.com. So once you sign up, you're able to view all of the products that we have on the exchange. If you're looking to just buy, sell, and exit the market, we have the spot contracts available for that. And if you're more risk averse, we have commodity-linked fixed income instruments, which allows you to play in this market with less risk.
Quite interesting. But, we see what's going on in the global scene right now with Russia pulling out of that, grain deal, the popular grain deal, and it's still going on. But how do you see that impacting, food prices going forward?
So looking at paddy rice, for example, there's been a global demand for paddy rice. So it's not just Nigeria that is being affected by what is going on with that commodity. So fortunately for us at AFEX Commodities Exchange, we have over 140 warehouses where we're able to store up and aggregate these commodities. So what is happening in the global scene is affecting the market. But we've been able to hedge against this by shoring up our warehouses. And once we have these commodities in our warehouse, they are available on our digital trading platform, which is Comex. So you're able to buy and sell these commodities because you know that they are available for you to take on the system.
All right, time to take positions. Thank you so much. That was Zara Dogo, Institutional Sales and Financial Markets at AFEX.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
It was great having you. All right, we'll take a breather now. And yeah, we know the markets didn't start so well yesterday. We saw the local bourse there was down about 0.21%, and we have Anyete to come and tell us what to expect for the month of November. It's already showing us kind of a bearish start.
Ladi, morning. The first trading day of November, it was not too good for the market. It's still another downturn. But of course, like I mentioned to you, it's not as if maybe the market is not good. It's just that they are taking profits, but then the impact is having
nothing wrong with taking profit.
There's nothing wrong in taking profit.
Right.
It's just like when you have your money in your account and you decide to use it. So the level at which it was previously is not what is going to remain. So it's not really about maybe the market not being positive for investment climate.
Could be positive for other people.
Exactly. So and then of course not just about the equities market, as well as the fixed income market, as well as the unlisted securities market. All right. So now, with that being said, let's go straight to the fixed income market. This is how it turned out yesterday at the close of the first trading day of November. Total number of deals, it was kind of like a bearish market for the fixed income space. Total number of deals carried out there was 15. As you can take a look at the board there, the highest concentration was on the 18th of April 2037 paper, had 4 deals. The total value, 2.2 billion naira. Second was the 23rd of February 2028 paper, 4 deals, as you can see there on the board. And then third, the 23rd of March 2025, 2 deals. Now, over to the Treasury bills market, it's still also not too much of activities going on there. The 30th of March had the highest concentration, as you can see on the board there. Total number of deals carried out there is 8. Then moving over to the almost segment of that market, we also see that the highest concentration was on the 20th of December later, which is next month. 12 number of deals, that was carried out there, and then the value at 40 billion naira, cumulative 32 deals. So now we would be talking to Chioma Udu, who is a fixed income dealer at GT Bank, if we have her there, so she can give us more information about how that market turned out the way it was at the close of Tuesday's trading session. But before we get to Chioma, let's take our focus on the equities market, which fell by another 21 basis to 0.21% at the close of Tuesday's trading session. That translates to more than 50 billion naira knocked off from this total value of the market. That it just shows you that the market is still going down, and so far the month-to-date gain, as a matter of fact, the month-to-date gain is just 0.21%. Now back to Chioma, who I said would be giving us insight about the fixed income market. Chioma, thank you for joining us for the program. Hello, Chioma. Chioma, please, can you kindly unmute your mic, please?
Good morning, Anita. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us on the program. Now, can you give us more insight into Tuesday's trading session for the fixed income market across the 3 space, or if 4, the CBN special bills? Tell us more about that market at the close of Tuesday's trading session.
All right, thank you. We saw a slightly bullish trend on the back of the liquidity into the system. Most of the trades were on the short end of the T-bills curve. We saw trades in the range of 12.5 to 13%, basically in the mid-November to February bureau. This is on the back of the liquidity that was seen that came into the system. The money market opened yesterday at over 300 billion on the back of 190 billion coupon payment that came in last week, and then FAC of over 400 billion also, and then over maturity. So we expect that we're going to continue to see the bullish trend as we see pockets of reinvestment activity, mainly of the short end of the yield curve.
Okay, now, if you take a look, we always mention that the fixed income market always moving, it moves in tandem with the equities market. Now, and if you take a look at the equities board, it's still in the negative. So are investors moving from that side of the market into the fixed income market? What's your take on this?
Basically, for any investor, it's about returns. We've seen rates across the yield curve at an average of about from the range of 12% to 14%. This gives them at least on the short end returns for their funds, for their investments. So we've seen a lot of activity in the fixed income space. We've seen pockets of reinvestment for the liquidity that have come into the market. We also have eyes on the NTB auction that's going to happen next week. We expect that we're going to see more interest in that space as the tightening stance of the central bank continues to, infuse in the market, and we expect that interest rates will continue to trend up. So we're going to see more activity in the fixed income space in the time being.
All right, thank you so much, Choma. And of course, we always advise investors to put their money where their mouth is, but with caution. Thank you so much. That was Choma Udu, fixed income dealer at GT Bank. So, yeah. Ladi,
no throwing caution to the wind at this point.
No throwing caution to the wind. This is not the time that you throw your money away. You invest it wisely.
Wisely. All right. Thank you so much, Anita.
Pleasure.
All right, we'll take a break now. When we come back, we head to London. That's in a moment. Just stay with us. All right, now let's take a look at what's happening in the crypto market just before we head to London. Now let's look at the fear greed index in the market right now. It's 30. Still fear, still better than extreme fear that we've had, most of this season of the bear market. Let's flip over to the market cap there. We see it's $1.01 trillion. Down 0.96%. So it's still holding the $1 trillion mark at this point. Volume traded, though, we're seeing this morning down 18.37%. The dominance there, Bitcoin dominance above the altcoins there, 38.74%. We're seeing a pullback from the 40% level we're used to. It's 0.13% up this morning. Let's look at the price of Bitcoin now. We see it's $20,474, down 0.71%. It's lost that 20,500 support mark there. So all eyes on the FOMC and see how that impacts, the crypto market today. Volume traded $38.34 billion. We're still seeing, Bitcoin holding that level quite well, but Ethereum doing much better, holding $1,587. It's down 0.50% this morning. Volume traded, we're seeing a pullback with volume. Right now, it's 13.95. Yesterday around this time was way more than this, about 50 billion, but we're seeing 13 billion volume traded in the total crypto space for Ethereum this morning. Let's look at the top alts by market cap there. We see it's mostly red. Just XRP holding on by hair's breadth there, 0.01%, 46 cents. And we see eCash there, down 2.25%. Cardano, 39 cents. The biggest downer this morning, that's Cardano, 3.46%. We see BNB there, 1.84%. Let's bring in Rume Ofi now, digital market analyst. Bring us up to speed. What's going on? Hello, Rume.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning.
Morning, Rume. Great to have you. And we see MoneyGram, back in the news. They're always in the news for crypto-related stories. And this time, they're going to allow their users hold crypto, trade crypto on their platform. Quite interesting. How's that going to work?
Ladi, I must tell you, the truth is that crypto is the future of finance. And we all need to understand that going forward, irrespective of anything, this is the future of finance. I'm not in a way saying that it is going to take the financial system away, but I'm saying they are going to work side by side. So MoneyGram has been for a while now, and is a leading global financial technology company that enable payment. Some persons that have used MoneyGram before now. It's been doing business since about 82 years, so it's not new in business. So they are building a peer-to-peer system, like they usually in the financial market, the regular financial market. They're building a peer-to-peer system for crypto, so you can go there and make purchases, buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin in that ecosystem. And they're also partnering with a company called Commodities. The Commodities has a lot of ATMs around in the US, Bitcoin ATMs. So it just enables, they're using their software to be able to partner with them so that people can be able to use their bank cards to make all of those purchases. So because the appetite of crypto is more about the young people, right? And these young people are the ones that make a lot of these innovations and build systems where a country could thrive. So if their interest is on this cryptocurrency, it only means that this is what is headed, and it makes a whole lot of sense.
What other adoption stories are we having out there?
All right, so South Africa, I think we spoke about it here on this platform. South Africa actually has recognized cryptocurrencies as a financial instrument. Yesterday, there's a news around there that a company called Pick and Pay, it's more like the retail shop, with over 2,000 retail outlets around South Africa. They came up yesterday that there will be, they build a system where you can go to a grocery shop and pay with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Doge, and some others. So it makes shopping easy. They've implemented that in 39 outlets, which means that people are going to be doing their shopping over there instead of using cash. They could just scan QR code and make purchases using the Lightning Network, which makes the payment faster and a settlement later for those that are using on wallet. Then increasing the adoption rate of using digital cryptocurrency, because that's the initial plan of Satoshi Nakamoto. If you look critically at the white paper, electronic payment, peer-to-peer payment, electronic cash using the internet. So it's a good development for Africa, and I would expect that we should be learning from all of this gradually in Nigeria and see if we can come up with a roadmap for this tech.
But Rume, do you really think that Bitcoin is ready for transactional use? Because I know most of the users are using it for investments at this time. But do you think it's ready for day-to-day transactions?
So it's still growing, and I think for payments it's ready, right? Because of the huge amount of volume. Interest coming in, at least yesterday, there's an article that spoke about the Democrats and Republicans, those interested in all of this back there in the US. So the data coming in yesterday from one of these research companies says that a lot of persons over there has interest, and you can also invest in it, like using it as an edge of money. It is not a good money for now, or as we go forward, liquidity just to come in. That's how all of these asset market build. It's a new asset market, so let's not give it an expectation of the bigger guys.
All right.
Understand? Like the stock market and the housing market,
okay.
Right? So as we go further, it's going to improve and it's getting better and it's going to do well.
All right, Rume, I guess we'll still keep watching to see how Bitcoin actually blossoms. Thank you so much. That's Rume Ofide, digital market analyst, bringing us up to speed. All right, that's it for the markets. Now, let's try and head back to Juliana now. I guess we have Juliana now. Juliana, good morning. Great to have you. So data out of the UK showing that UK food inflation has soared to a record high by 11.6%. And I'm guessing it's energy costs.
Hear me well. You're right. We have had data this morning from the British Retail Consortium looking at shop prices, and they have grown 11.6% year on year. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, but it is the 2nd of November, so it's not too early to talk about Christmas. It is just 8 weeks away. And this is a massive concern for retailers who we know that, November, December, these are golden months. This is a time when they're supposed to reap all the benefits from, the rest of the year, and it is unlikely because consumer confidence is so low, and it just costs so much to eat decent food at the moment, and not just decent food. We've also had forensic data looking at fresh food and basic food items, and the Brits do love a good cup of tea, and to make a cup of tea costs 12.6% more this year than it did last year, because basics like milk, tea bags, and other items are climbing exceptionally higher, and it isn't a joking matter. This is really serious. We know that inflation is at a 40-year high, consumer confidence very low at the moment, and according to data from Kantar, which is an analytics firm here in the UK, more than half of shoppers are cutting back at the moment. So I may not be able to get you that Christmas present I said I would be getting you,
so sad.
laddie, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully inflation gets a little bit better, and you might be lucky.
And obviously, the point is that this Christmas is definitely going to be a very interesting one. We're going to watch, how it all plays out. But we have the BOE meeting tomorrow. It's already priced in 75 basis points. How are investors bracing for this?
Well, it's been a big week for the Bank of England. In fact, it has been a series of big weeks for the English central bank over the past couple of weeks. Of course, it bailed out Liz Truss's government by buying short-term, medium-term government bonds to try and shore up the pension market. Tomorrow is really important, looking at interest rates. We were supposed to have that fiscal statement, remember, on Monday, which would have given Andrew Bailey, the governor, some breathing space. He doesn't have it, and inflation is spiralling out of control. If you remember this time last year, Laddie, when we were talking about inflation, remember central bankers were saying it was transitory. Not the case now. We are expecting a significant rise. If it is risen by 0.75% to 3%, this would be the biggest rise of interest rates in this country in over 3 decades. And there is a knock-on effect, because if it costs more to borrow, then mortgage owners, who are really struggling at the moment, will start seeing their monthly payments go higher. Almost 5% of mortgage owners are already defaulting on their payments. So yeah, big day tomorrow at Threadneedle Street. We should get an update, 12 o'clock local, 1 o'clock Nigeria time. So I'll be able to update the team on Biz Inc.
All right. Well, it's been a while. I heard the word transitory, but it was good hearing it again. Thank you so much, Juliana. See you later.
Thank you. Talk soon.
All right, so that was Juliana there giving us the details right there from the UK. But that's a wrap on the program. Don't forget to join us by 1:30 on Business Incorporated for more updates and developments in the world of business. And you can watch this again on our YouTube channel. Just go over to YouTube, search for Channels Television, and flip over to videos. And you can watch all our videos. Thank you for watching. I'm Ladi Williams. Bye for now.